Thank you. So I want to say thank you, Josh and Chris, for having this event. I appreciate you all for Toast StenoMasters. My topic, I'm going to go with the prompt, what has been the best part of your career? The title of this is From the Projects to Owning Property. And I want you to walk with me through this journey. You can either close your eyes, you can just imagine, or just visualize my walk through as a little girl. I would say 5, 6 years old, growing up in the projects of Virginia, kind of drug infested area. Single parent. My mom was a single parent, 4 siblings, four children. I'm the knee baby, which is two older brothers, me, and then my younger sister. I remember growing up in the projects in a 3 bedroom apartment and just having big dreams. Big dreams. My brother, my oldest brother, he wanted to do computer science. We didn't have money for a computer, and somebody helped him. And now he owns his own company. I had uncles. My grandmother had 18 children. And most of my uncles, they were uh, builders. They built homes. My grandfather built homes. And so real estate and property were a big thing in our family. But my mother and about another one of my aunts, we were the only ones, I think, in our family who did not have a home. We were in the projects. So my mother had 4 kids, and we were all kind of smart. People say, oh, they're so smart, they're so smart. We didn't really know, but we all kind of achieved, even though growing up in that area, and we all had big dreams. So at 15, about in ninth grade, I don't know how old I was, I wanted to become a court reporter, but I didn't know what it was. I knew it was this lady that types in court really, really fast. And I used to sit on people's court and I say, oh, that's what I wanted to be. And I joined FBLA, which is Future Business Leaders of America, which is an organization that we have in school. I love that. I've always loved business and anything dealing with leadership, or so that was always, I think God always directed me in that area. And I went to typing competitions and all those things. I always knew there was something way bigger than the projects. In my head, I just knew it. Even from the glimpse of my uncles owning property and having businesses to, just other people in the world. And I knew ever since I was little that I had a gift of visions, and like I had dreams, and I was almost wanting to be an inventor. If you ever watch those things on TV where it says become an inventor, blah blah blah, those commercials to see it. And that was my commercial, because I'm like, I want to invent something. I want to be this inventor. I always wanted to be an inventor, and so I always had those big dreams. And as my topic is from the projects to owning property, as I navigated through high school, and I went to my mother didn't, nobody knew anything about court reporting. I didn't know anybody who was a court reporter in the projects. My mother didn't know what it is, but I researched, and I told my high school counselor, I said that's what I wanted to be. I got some scholarships. There was some school, I think it was Reporting Academy of Virginia. And we went there, me and my mom, and she didn't even know. I didn't know what the machine was. Nobody knew what the machine was. And I was like, oh, that's what I want to be. And they let me type on it. And I always wanted to be that. And then I looked at colleges and I said, I'm going to be this person. And I end up, this is a little, mind, this is Black History Month. I'm thinking about ancestors. And I know my ancestors were with me. Somebody was with me to actually research this stuff on my own. You think about a parent, a mother who was really sick. My mother was really sick, so she couldn't help me a lot. My brothers, they were doing their own thing. My sister was younger. So that's just this little Black girl who had a dream, who's trying to get somewhere, right? And so I went to Reporting Academy of Virginia, and they say, this is how much it costs. And immediately, we didn't have the money to do that. But then my guidance counselor somehow, found all these scholarships, and I got a scholarship to Johnson & Wales University in Rhode Island. And that's the school I went to. I got financial aid and all those things, navigated through school, finished school, got my bachelor's degree in court reporting. And when I came home, I started working. I tried to start off captioning. That's the first thing I wanted to do. That's always my love, was captioning, carton captioning. So that's the first thing I wanted to do. But that didn't go. I didn't do that. I started freelancing and then officialship. But when I started officialship, I was in an apartment, and I've always been taught, my brother, like, he owns property, and it's just in our blood. Property is in our blood. And he always said, don't get comfortable in an apartment. He said, just because of our background, he said, you always want to be an owner, especially as an African American. And as I just read through the paper online, if you ever look up, I think it's called Perspective Now. They have indicated that by 2053, that all African Americans' income will be zero. Right? That's what they're saying. And I know home ownership and land ownership is a great part of our, as African Americans, that's one thing we want to have, is land. And we want to have something that we own. Even for anybody, you want to have those things that you own. So that was one of my things. So as I navigated, got back to DC, I moved to DC because I wanted to be somewhere that was close to home, but not home. So I moved to DC, started working freelance. And the first thing, and I had a coworker next to me, and she bought all these properties, and she was just buying properties here and there. And I'm a single person with no child or anything, and I was getting taxed here and there everywhere. And I said, oh, I need to start, buying property. And so I started buying property before I even owned property. So I was renting, but actually buying property. Bought my first rental property. And just want to say, this job as a court reporter has afforded me the opportunity, as an African American who grew up in the projects, the opportunity to actually buy property. And without my income, I wouldn't have been able to do that. So I wanted to say, this career has afforded me the ability to go from the projects to owning property as an African American woman here. So I know I probably went over my time. So I just wanted to end right there and say, that's why I'm thankful for this career.